out there. This is your fairy girl, Akudo. Welcome to another video, another episode. This is the fourth question. How do you deal with baby mama drama? So many of my uniques asked this question. So in this video, I'm going to deal with it. To all my returning subscribers, hello, welcome back. For those of you that are not part of my family, what are you waiting for? You see the red button? Click on that button. Wait for the notification bell. Click on that one too, so you will be the first to see my videos once they drop. Now, let's jump right into it. When you hear the word baby mama, what comes to your mind? Most of the time is for my sisters, my ladies, my unique mommies that are in a relationship, but the guy was in a previous relationship and he shared a child with another woman before you came along the picture. Most of the time, some baby mamas are past relationships, but they shared a child and now maybe they've broken up or they're divorced or they're separated, and now you are in a relationship with this man, but he has a child with another woman. And most of the time, the society says it's baby mama drama, where there is always one thing going on. It's also sometimes very difficult if the woman still is interested in whoever your spouse is. They want to use their children as a way to get him back or stuff like that. So many things. That's why people call them baby mama drama. So my sister wants to know, how do you deal? Because she thinks this is her fight. She thinks she's supposed to protect her man. She thinks they now have a family and they have two children. So what is she supposed to do with the other child, from the previous relationship and stuff like that? So my sister, if you are in this situation, this is for my sisters. If you are in this situation, grab a chair, grab your popcorn, grab something to drink, and come closer. We'll make this short and sweet. Okay? My sister, there is this prayer my mom told us. My mom said that we should always pray for God to give you the strength to change the things you can and the grace to accept the ones that you cannot change. In this situation, you cannot change the situation. Your spouse, your husband was already had this relationship before you came in. He had this relationship. Not only did he have a relationship, he also had a blessing, a child or children from that relationship. He's not going to forget his children and throw them away because he's in love with you. Those are his flesh and blood. So if you want to deal with this, I have just few points I'm going to tell you. Few things I want you to think about. Few things I want you to have at the back of your head when dealing with that other woman. Some of us, we call them baby mama. Some of them we call them, but I'm just going to say the woman from the previous relationship. Okay? These are certain things you can do. The first thing is you cannot change the situation. You cannot close your eyes and the children will disappear. You are not a magician. Abracadabra, boom, and the children will disappear. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna do abracadabra, boom, and that woman will disappear. No, she's the mother of those children. She ain't going nowhere. So these are things you cannot change. So the first thing I will encourage you to do, my sister, is acceptance. You have to accept. If you don't want a man that has children by other women, then don't date him, then don't marry him. If you can't deal with the emotional, baggage that comes with it, my sister, run as fast as your leg and say, it's a no for me. It's a deal breaker for me, and leave him alone. But if you say, oh, I love him, I'm going to stay with him, then, sweetie, you're going to deal with that woman and those children. They are also part of him. Those are the things he's coming into the relationship with. They're not going to disappear. You're not going to wish them away. You're not going to wish them to leave the relationship. You're not going to wish them to move to another place. No, they are there and you cannot change them. All you're going to pray is for God to give you the grace to accept them. So acceptance is number one. If you have made up your mind that you love this guy, you have made up your mind you are madly in love with him, you want to build a life with him, you want to marry him, then my sister, you have also made up your mind that there is a woman before you. You have also made up your mind that there are children or a child that is also coming with that woman, and you're going to accept it. And if you accept it, you don't just accept it because, oh, you know what, I'm going to come in and then I'll drive them away. No, you're going to accept them, and the next thing you're going to do is love that child. That child is a part of your husband. That child is a part of who he is. That child, there's no way you can tell his story without telling the story of that child. So you have to love that child. You have to be kind to that child. Do your best. If the child does not want to anything to do with you, maybe when he grows up, he says, I don't want to talk with you, then that's a different thing. I'm not going to tell you to go force a relationship when they don't want to have a relationship with you. But extend your hand of friendship. Extend a shoulder for them to lean on. Extend your ears for a listening ear. Extend your back for a shoulder to lean on. And if they say, you know what, I'm grown now, I don't like you, I don't want to talk to you, it's okay, but make sure you do your part. Make sure you do your part. You have to love. You love them just like you love your own children. You love them sometimes, children from that kind of situation have been told so many things. So most of the time, even when you're trying to be loving, they don't want to love you back because you don't know what their mothers have told them. You don't know what other people have told them. So as you're extending your hand of friendship, they might be not telling you to keep it down there. They don't want it. But just keep trying. Look at them like your children. Sometimes we extend hands of friendship to our children. Sometimes we try and they tell you no, they don't want it. What do? You still move on. So do the same thing with them. So the first thing you do is, if you have accepted it and you decide this is what you want to do, it's not going to change. So don't come in tomorrow and then you want something to change. Those children are not going anywhere. They are not going to change. Number two, you extend your hand of friendship and love. You love them and treat them exactly the way you treat your children. They will accept or they don't accept is their decision. You carry the ball and put it in their court. They either play it or they give it back to you or they play with you. Whatever is their decision, just do your part. Number three, my sister, this fight is not your fight. This lady that asked this question, as I was reading her email, she had this thing about, oh, the other lady, the baby mama, is so mean, he's so this, he's always going back and forth with my spouse. I can't stand that. So I took the phone and I called him and I cussed him out. Sister, it's not your fight now. It's not your fight. Don't go blasting her. Don't go saying derogatory things about her in front of her child. Don't go saying how bad she is, how mean she is, how this she is. This is not your fight. My sister, come closer. Come closer. This is not, let me get this into your ears. This is not your fight. You were not there when your spouse was married to that woman. You were not there when they had their children. You were not there. You don't know what transpired. All you know is what your spouse told you. As if we don't know that people lie. He might be lying. You don't know. So don't go carry a fight that you can't fight. Don't go bashing the other woman. Don't go telling her how she's a bad mother or how she's this. My sister, unless it's something you see with your eyes. Don't go saying things you heard, except it's something you see in your own house. If the child comes to your house, you and your spouse's house, and the child is disrespectful or is using derogatory words on you, then tell the father, as you see what she's doing, and let the father deal with it. Or because he's also your child, you can deal with it the same way you will deal with your child. Don't give him more punishment than you give your children, or don't, scold him or yell at him more than you would have yelled at your own child. The same thing, the same way you treat your children, try as much as possible to treat that other child. This child is not his or her fault. She didn't ask to be here. She didn't say that, oh, my mom and my dad should not make up, so I should be here. No, he didn't ask to be in this situation. Just like it is hard for you, it is also hard for that child. Remember, he is younger. So he doesn't understand why he has to go on into this house, go to the mommy's house for some days, come and stay with you and your husband and his dad for some days, go back there. He hears something from the mom. He comes over and hears something. This is a child. He's trying to process all these things. Children, go watch my video on the psychological effect of child support. We are so busy fighting each other. We don't remember that when two elephants fight, it's the grass that gets hot. Those children are the ones that get hot. When we are there trying to say who is more powerful, who can cause more, who can put the other down more, who can yell more, the little child is looking and saying, oh, is it my fault? Am I the cause of this? Did I do it? Because they don't understand. So please, my sister, this fight is not your fight. The sister that wrote this, I read your email about how you and the girl will always get into it. My sister, this is not your fight. Biko. This is not your fight. If you're in a relationship with this man, you already know he had a woman before, you already know he has children or a child before. So this is now your family. This is something you're going to deal with. So you have to find ways of dealing with it where you don't break yourself down, you don't break your children down, you don't break the little child down. Nobody is broken. You find a way to deal with it. You deal with it by accepting. You have already accepted it, not just accept it with your mouth. Now the deal is cast. You now have to accept it physically because now that child is in your house. You have to love that child like your own. Treat that child the way you treat your children. You see, we women, we have that tendency of taking out our anger or whatever we feel for the mom on the child. It's not the child's fault. Maybe the mom cussed you out on the phone. It's not the child that cussed you out. Maybe the mom called you and yelled at you or stopped you at the store and yelled at you, gave you a piece of her mind. It's not the child. So please, whatever the mom did to you, don't take it out on the poor little boy or the poor little girl. They didn't do nothing to you. It is a very, very difficult thing, but let us try. Remember, the Bible says we can do all, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. You can't do it by yourself, but you have to believe that I'll try, and then God's grace is sufficient. Because sometimes it is so hard, that human thing in us. I'm trying to be nice to your child, and you're here cussing me out. Sometimes you have that tendency of saying, you know what, since you're cussing me out, I don't care for your child. But let us live above. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Okay? So when they come at you low, ignore what the woman is saying. If whatever you're doing with the mother is you and the mother. You, your husband and the mother, not the child. Number two, you love the child. Number three, this fight is not your fault, my sister. This fight is not your fight. You're not going to go out there and fight because of what your spouse told you the woman did. How do you know it's true? Even though he might be telling the truth, there was once a time that he loved that woman and they produced a child. We are not going to deny all that because now they are not together. So we have to find a way to know that this fight is not your fight. Don't go and fight for him because this lady is saying, I call her and then we get into it. I talk this, I did this. He tried, whenever he gets into argument with my man comes home sad and I call her and give her a piece of my mind. Sister, stop all that. I'm telling you, from one sister to the other, from one unique to the other unique. Stop all that. It's not your fight. It's not your fight. If you are in that position, try as much as possible. You might not, most people say, oh, be kind to the woman so that you guys can even blend. Some people don't want that blending. I can understand that. Some people say, I might take the child, I might be nice, but you see that woman, no, I don't want her. Especially if the woman still wants your husband or your spouse back. So I can understand you being afraid that if he starts coming closer, he might want to, do something or take your man back or whatever. I can understand you're scared, you're insecure, you don't know. It is okay, you're human. You're not a superwoman, you're human. So that tendency and that mind and that thinking, maybe he might, it's okay. But forget about that and deal with the child like you would deal with every child. Even some children you don't know, strangers out there that you don't know, you are nice to them. People, those of you that are maybe teachers or nurses or whatever, you go to that hospital, that child that you're taking care of, you don't know who that child is, but you're nice to that child. So if you can be kind to a stranger because it's your job, then be kind to that child because it's your spouse's child. Just do the needful. Do what you can do. You can't do it by yourself, but you take it a day at a time. It is overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes you don't know what to do. And then it becomes more difficult when, as much as you try to make the child comfortable, the child resents you and like, I don't want you. You're not my mommy. You not. So sometimes being the human you are, you feel like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing anymore. I'm just done. I know that we are human. It's possible. But as much as you can, keep doing the needful. Keep doing what you can do. If he becomes an adult tomorrow, he's an adult now. He's 25, he's 32, he's 28, and he says, you know what? I'm not going to speak to you. Oh, well and good. But when he is young, it's not his fault. He doesn't understand. He or she doesn't know what's going on. Be nice with the baby mama. And I will also, before I close I don't want this video to be too long. My sister that wrote this thing, I also want to tell you, as much as possible, the Bible says, as much as possible, be at peace with all men. As much as possible. There is no need in all this fighting, all this animosity, all this going back and forth, all this day. It is too much stress on you. It leads to depression. It's a lot of stress. If you can be at peace, my sister, try and be at peace. Let us all get along. I'm not saying you should be the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend's best friend. I'm not saying you guys should do kumbaya, kumbaya, and sing la la la. No. But I'm saying just be peaceful, be cordial. Be peaceful, be cordial. For nobody's sake, but for your own sake, for your children's sake, and for your man's sake. Just be cordial. Hi, hello. When are we picking the children? Get the children. Be nice to the child. Oh, the child was sick over the weekend. Try and take him to the doctor. Oh, I bought this for the children. I went to the store. I bought this for my children. I bought one for your child too, And when he comes over the weekend, I'll give it to him. Or just be nice and just move on. There are some people in this world that no matter what you do, you will never make them happy. Even if you like, give them the best just because you are where they want to be, because you are with the man they want to be. They will do anything. They will make up stuff. They will drag you. They will do this just to discourage you, my sister. I'm here to tell you, do not be discouraged. Don't let people change you into who you are not. Don't let people make you do things that you cannot stand. Still be you. Still do you. Still do you. You do everything the Bible said that when you have done all things, what do? Then you stand. When you have done everything needed, you have put in love, you have put in acceptance, you understand this fight is not your fight, you have done everything, you want to be cordial, you want to be friendly, you want to be accepting. At the end of the day, and the baby mama still say, I can't stand you. My sister, there is nothing you can do. You have done everything, then just stand. Just stand and say, you know what? I've done everything. Don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. Maybe one day God will touch her. But this is my advice to you. This is how to deal with it. Don't pay evil with evil. Don't go say, okay, she's doing this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna protect my husband. I'm gonna protect this, protect that, protect that. I'm gonna be fighting. I'm gonna be doing this. No, baby, there's no need. When two elephants fight, the grass gets hot. That child gets hot, and your children also get hot. Everybody gets hot in the process. So if you're asking me, how do you deal with your baby mama? I'm telling you how to deal with your baby mama is acceptance. Accept that this thing has happened, is not going to change. Now that he's here, what are we going to do? We are going to love beyond words. We are going to love unconditionally. We are going to love this child like he is ours. And we're going to know that whichever child that your husband had before you, it is also part of him. And it's also part of your family. And when they grow up and they say, you know what, we don't want to deal with you, it's okay. But while they are young and they have the chance of coming to your house and going, whenever they are at your house, be the best mom and the best stepmom you can be. Be the best. Give them your love. Give them your time. Give them your patience, just like you do with your children. Let them be one of your children too. Love on them like you love on your children. Take care of them like you take care of your children. Cherish them like you cherish your children. Appreciate them like you appreciate your children. And sister, when they grow up and they are out, they have finished college, and they look at you and say, we don't want you anymore, tell them it is all well and good with you. But at least you have done what you need to do. And don't give up. Still keep doing. reach out to, try as much as you can. If they don't want it, there's nothing you can do. But at least while they are young and they need that balance, try as much as possible to give it to them. And like I said, the Bible says, in everything, try as much as possible to live in peace with all men. All right? Remember to give us a thumbs up, share this video, and please subscribe to the channel. I want you to go to the comment section. Try and help some of these questions. I gave my own opinion. My opinion is not the last opinion. So if you have something to say, go to the comment section and give us your own answer, your own idea too. Answer some of these questions. Help a sister out, guys. Help me out, all right? You are unique, beautifully, wonderfully made, all right? And I love, love, love you guys. Till the next video, mwah, bye-bye.